ready for a pronunciation challenge? So this English lesson is for you. It should be really interesting. We're going to focus on pronunciation, intonation, how to link the words in a conversation to sound more natural in English. And to do that, we're going to listen to 6 different audio files. We're going to listen to 6 different phrases, and then I'm going to pause, make important observations, practice so that you can listen, repeat, and improve your English pronunciation to speak English more clearly. And if you don't know me very well, I am Teacher Prix. Make sure to subscribe because there's always a different kind of English lesson. But let's get to it. I'm going to put on my headphones because I need to listen to the audio files that I prepared for this lesson. I picked some short scenes from movies where you can hear a sentence very clearly. You're going to see here, you're going to see this in the slide so that you can listen, repeat, read along, and I will make some observations. This is an amazing exercise to improve your pronunciation in English. As I often talk about here on my channel, there's shadowing. Shadowing is a more natural way to improve your intonation, but what I am doing here is really targeted work. We're going to pick some phrases, I'm going to pause, I'm going to show you how it is being linked, some pronunciation patterns. You're going to listen a few times, repeat a few times, and then move on to the next sentence. This is a very productive practice. It shouldn't take you long, okay? So that being said, we're going to the first slide, and the phrase we're going to listen is, "You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad." You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. Let's listen to the native speaker saying this, and then I'm going to make some important observations, okay? Let's see video number 1. Let's go. Listen.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
Again.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
Now here, your first practice could be just trying to follow the rhythm without paying attention to the words. Again.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. It's almost like a song. And even I will make mistakes, okay? But the idea is to improve your rhythm, your pace. And then when we pause and reflect on each word, then we learn some technical aspects. Let me go one more time.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
With my downtime, Dad. Downtime, Dad. And then you stop, you drop, okay? One common mistake that I find in students is this difficulty going up and down. So you need to show that when you're communicating, if you don't want to sound really flat and robotic, because sometimes we think that some native speakers are robotic and they don't have intonation. They do. We just didn't train our ears to see the nuance, to see the variation. People like me, and not because I'm a non-native speaker, but I am naturally a good speaker. I like expressing my thoughts, my ideas. I pay attention to my intonation, to my rhythm, to my pace, because I worked a lot on my communication. I do this in English and in my native language, in Portuguese. Not every native speaker will do that just because they speak English fluently. But it's important to train your ears for speakers who have a lot of energy and for speakers who are not so energetic when communicating. But anyway, you don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. Repeat this. And you can go very slowly. If we go very slowly, let's go like real slow. You don't get to tell. You don't get to tell me. You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. What to do with my downtime, Dad. So here what do we have? You don't get. I don't completely pronounce the letter T. You don't get to tell. You don't get to. And I will link the T in get and the to next to get to. You don't get to tell. You don't get to tell. You don't get to tell me what to do, what to do. I link and it almost when to become one. What to do. You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. What to do with what to do with my downtime, Dad. This is almost like a song, okay? So you start a little strong with you to get the attention. You don't get to tell. Then you maintain your voice firm. You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. Dad, okay? So that is a very important practice. Pay attention that I pick one phrase and then you repeat it a few times to improve your rhythm, to improve your intonation, to improve the linking. Because there are many places where we link, where we shorten, we contract the sound a little. And that takes patience. That takes practice. You don't need long audio files to do that, okay? Let's go over it one more time.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
You don't get to tell me, let me read. You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad. With my downtime, with my downtime, Dad. Very, very good. And his pronunciation with the TH sound in with is so good. Let me go one more time.
You don't get to tell me what to do with my downtime, Dad.
With my downtime, Dad. It's very soft, but so good. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. And if you want more videos like this, I want you to type the word pronunciation in the comments. Okay, that way I will know you want more. Let's go to the next one. This is exactly what I was afraid of. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Let's see how this goes.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
Now, as you can see, her voice is very high-pitched, okay? Probably because she's anxious, so you don't need to do that. But let's listen to her one more time.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
One more time.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
This is exactly what I was afraid of. Afraid of. Afraid of. One more time.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
This is exactly what I was afraid of. So we have a little bit of rising, afraid of. It rises and then it falls, okay? And she is emphasizing exactly. And it's interesting because while I was listening to sentences, while I was looking for, because I really have to look for these phrases and pick the best choice. When I found this is exactly, I listened to about 30 phrases with this is exactly. And it's so cool because every actor or actress emphasized exactly. This is exactly, this is exactly, this is exactly. So it's important to emphasize certain words, to stress some words. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Afraid of. Let's go again.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
Woulda, flapty, woulda, and then you link with I. Now let's pay attention to the linking possibilities here, okay? We have this is. So you have the S in this, okay? This is, okay? So you link Z, this is exactly. And then the is with exactly, okay? Exactly. It's not exactly, it's exactly, okay? Exactly. This is exactly what, what. This is exactly what I was afraid of. What I was afraid of. This is exactly what I was afraid of. That's the linking exercise. I know that to some of you this may sound difficult. If you were a student in my academy, my programs, I would be listening to you and giving you proper correction, okay? But try to do this. Let's listen to her a few times, okay? Let's go, let me see.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
One more time.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
This is exactly what I was afraid of. What I was afraid of. That's very good. Very, 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 very good. Let's move on to the next one. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. I'm trying. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. Now let's listen to the native speaker.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it.
One more time.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it.
One more time.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it.
Very good. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. One more time.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. Very fast, okay? Let's take a look at the possible linking opportunities here, okay? I'm trying to figure out, trying to. Priscilla, can I say two? It's possible, it has two possible sounds, but here the speaker is using the schwa, to. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it. With it. Okay, repeat after me one more time. With it. What the heck. You don't need to say what the heck unless you want to emphasize what the heck is wrong. What the heck is wrong with it. Let's listen to the native speaker one more time.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it.
Very good. One more time.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it.
Good, good. Guys, the idea of this lesson is pretty straightforward. You want to improve your pronunciation, you want to speak more clearly like I do, like I help my students do, then you need the proper practice, the proper guidance. This is one useful exercise you can do that will allow you to improve your flow, the way you link words. There are more rules that you need to understand. I'm not explaining the rules here. This is a more practical exercise to help you improve your pronunciation. But it's important to understand some rules, not all of them, but some patterns, okay? Let's move on. Next word. There's something you're not telling me. I like this one because there are many possible ways to stress this phrase. You can add some suspense. There's something you're not telling me. You can add a little bit more surprise. There's something you're not telling me. You can add a little bit more passive flow. There's something you're not telling me. You can be flatter, okay? You can be angry. You can be curious. There's something you're not telling me. Intrigued. So you can play with your voice at the end of the day. But let's listen what the native speaker is doing.
There's something you're not telling me.
Oh, a little bit more suspense. One more time.
There's something you're not telling me.
Very good.
There's something you're not telling me.
Okay.
There's something you're not telling me.
There's something you're not telling me. There's something you're not telling me. There's something you're not telling me. There's something you're not telling me. You're not telling me. It drops. You're not telling me. Could I rise? Yes, it depends on the energy I want to add. There's something you're not telling me. If you're adding me, if you're stressing me, I can... Guys, I don't know if you saw this video on social media, but there is a video. Let me go back. There is a video where a woman, and she's not a teacher, she's just an American woman, and she's making fun of the English language. She picks 7 phrases, the same phrases. Other teachers did it as well, okay? And I think I did it once, like something similar. But I got inspired by this comedian, and there were 7 exact same phrases. They were identical. And then she highlighted one word in each phrase because that actually exists, okay? That happens. And then whenever she stressed a different word, the meaning changed. The idea changed, okay? The same happens here. Could I say this?
There's something you're not telling me.
There's something you're not telling me. I could do this. There's something you're not telling me. There is something you're not telling me. There's something you're not telling me. Every time I change my stress, I am changing the essence of the phrase, okay? But here, in this tone, there's a little bit more suspense. Okay, let's go again.
There's something you're not telling me.
There's something you're not telling me. There's something you're not telling me. There's something you're not telling me. You're not telling me. Okay? So that is a very important thing for you to notice. But now let's move on to number 5. At some point, you have to stop people pleasing and please yourself. Let me drink some water. 1 second. All right. At some point, you have to stop people pleasing and please yourself. Let's listen to the girl. What's this?
At some point, you have to stop people pleasing and please yourself.
At some point. Dramatic pause. At some point.
At some point, you have
At some point.
to stop people pleasing and please yourself.
And please yourself. Okay? At some point, you have to stop people pleasing and please yourself. And please yourself. So she wants to emphasize, please yourself. You have to stop people pleasing and please yourself. At some point. I don't know when, but at some point, you have to stop people pleasing and please yourself. Let's go one more time.
At some point, you have to stop people pleasing and please yourself.
Stop people pleasing. Stop people pleasing. See how it's not rising? Stop people pleasing and please yourself. And please yourself. Pay attention that whenever native speakers don't link too much, they are adding emphasis. They are trying to get your attention to that piece of information. Okay? Let's move on to the next one. That's not how this works. Again, this is a phrase that we could use multiple intonations because I would always change the idea. Actually, with any sentence in English, I can do this, and depending on how I stress and what word I stress more or stress less, the meaning will slightly change. Okay, let's listen to number 6.
That's not how this works.
She rises a lot.
That's not how this works.
That's
not how this works.
That's not how this works. She's probably surprised. That's not how this works.
That's not how this works.
High pitched. Whenever you hear a native speaker or anyone in any language using a higher pitched voice that continues on, this person is probably shocked, surprised, sometimes anxious. There are a few emotions that the person can be describing, but that's usually that, okay?
That's not how this works.
That's not how this works. But she stays flat, even though her voice is really high pitched. She changes works. Okay?
That's not how this works.
That's not how this works.
That's not how this works.
That's not how this works. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. I'm changing the high pitched, okay? That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Whenever there is a negation in your sentence, it is really important to stress that that's not how this works. That's not how this works. But she's stressing a little bit more the verb works, okay? That's not how this works. If you want to add emphasis, I would stress not and work, okay? That's not how this works. They are very, very important words, okay? Now, guys, what is the whole purpose of this exercise? To make you speak more naturally. I don't need to come here with a lot of phrases for you to work on. We need a little bit more quality, showing you where to link, showing you the importance of stressing the words. And these are all things that you work on gradually. A little goes a long way. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and watch my other lessons. And if you're interested, check out my study plan, my other ebooks and materials, because I know you're going to like them. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.